Hello, English 11 students. I just wanted to go through a couple of things for this next week of e-learning. So I've been trying to make sure that we, look at these learning targets together as we get ready to move into them so that you kind of know exactly what to expect as we're doing that. So here it says students will be able to analyze specific diction and its influence on overall meaning. That's just our, again, state standard that we're trying to address here. So you do one of the two that are here, just like always. It's worth 10 points though. So some of you have been kind of skimping on some of these answers lately. So the first one, what book are you reading? And then you're going to find an example of each literary term in your novel. So if you're not sure what these are, you're going to maybe need to look them up. For instance, what's the difference between a metaphor and a simile? Well, a simile is a type of metaphor, but it's the one that uses like or as, right? So a metaphor is when you describe something as if it was something else. So you might say his anger was boiling like a pot, something like that, which could also be a simile. Imagery, foreshadowing, flashback, hyperbole, these are all literary terms that we've addressed at some point, either in this year or in the past. So you'll want to look at those as you move forward. Then you're going to find 3 symbols in your novel so far. So for example, a dove represents peace. So if there's a dove, then there's peace. So dove is tangible, peace is intangible. So there's things like that. You're going to be looking for those in your novel. Then 3 strong examples of theme in your novel. So write the quote and page number and explain each in a couple of sentences below. So what is the theme? Complete sentence, please. So you're going to come up with a theme. Maybe it's lack of power. Maybe it's any of those things we've talked about in this unit. But then you need to put it into a sentence, and then you need to come up with a quote from your novel and explain it in a sentence or 2. And then here, what do you think your novel is saying about this theme? So it's a really good idea that whatever theme you pick, you make it kind of a big deal. And then what specific language is telling you that that's a big deal, that's a big theme in the book, okay? The other one is a diction web. So here you're going to choose 2 separate important passages from your novel so far and create a web for each. So 2 separate webs. You can do this in Notability. You could do it in Explain Everything if you have that. Regardless, the nice thing about Explain Everything, and you can do this with Notability, but you have to do screen recording, which you may not have set up on your iPad. You may not have Explain Everything, but you might be able to get it through the app portal, should you want to. The nice thing about Explain Everything is you can import a picture, or you can, put in designs, and then you can actually just record yourself going through it, which is nice. Whereas in Notability, you'd have to screen record. But here, so you're going to have 2 webs. This is just an example of 1 web. So notice here, the first step is the beginning, and that's your quote. And the quote should be representative of something important in your novel, okay? So put the passage in the middle of the web along with the page number. It should be one longer sentence to a short paragraph, so at least a sentence, if not more, all right? And you can copy and paste this. If you have an ebook, you can type it in. So it does not need to be handwritten, okay, guys? Then off the middle bubble, create at least 2 branches where you put a specific word from the passage in each one. So if you look here, right, we have, I open the parachute and find a small loaf of bread. It's not the fine white capital stuff. So this is from Hunger Games. It's made of dark ration grain and shaped in a crescent, sprinkled with seeds. I flash back to Peta's lesson, various district breads, the training center. And this bread came from District 11. I cautiously lift the still warm loaf. So she did crescent and warm here from this example, okay? So, and then the crescent, they were doing some word association. So it says number 3, off each word, put as many branches as you can to indicate connotation of that word. What do you think of when you think of that word? So it's white, it's bright, so those are some of those. Warm, comforting, blanket, and then create a bubble to bring it all back together and explain what it means for the novel you're reading. And so if you look here, a crescent is the shape of the moon, and the moon is often bright and white. Therefore, the word crescent is associated with the brightness and color white, which can be symbolic of hope. Katniss is fighting. So you can kind of see how they went through this. But notice, it's a paragraph, guys. You need to do 2 of these. So today, whichever option you pick, there's going to be quite a bit of writing. And you're going to need to be thinking about the important things that are happening and the wording in your book, okay? And I'm looking to see these things coming from at least halfway through your book, because that's where you should be now, not near the beginning. So make sure that you're, getting into that book and getting pretty far. All right, so either the literary devices page where you fill out these sentences, full sentences, or 2 diction webs. So quote in the middle, word associations, bring it back together. All right, that is what we're doing today for the activity. So hopefully you will be able to get that done.